Hi guys, my name is Delphina from YFM, and today you're welcome to the launch of the 2024 World Public Relations Day Festival. And today, see, we are literally come to talk about everything PR, movies PR, music PR. I mean, if there's any, yeah. And I have here with me some experts in the PR world here in Ghana and around Africa. I'll have them introduce themselves. Who goes first?
Sadat.
Oh, okay.
Let's go.
I thought I was going to say ladies first, but I'm not. But anyway. My name is Sadat Lamino, and it's very difficult to describe who an expert really is, especially in our field, but I will call myself a PR consultant, and I've been in I started practice since 2010. And
Since what?
2010.
Okay. Wow.
Well, actually, not 2010 because there was period of national service. So 2028, 2029, all of these periods I was still working, as a PR person for Information Services Department, which is a government,
PR machine.
Machinery, exactly. So give or take, say 15 plus, if you add those years too as well. But essentially, I've been practicing for this number of years, and I have consulted for varied industries, from telecommunications to mining to technology to banking to insurance and fast-moving consumer goods, just name it, and across all industries and even government, and yeah, that's basically me. And you can describe me as an agency rat, and you'll be wrong.
Kwakwe.
Yes.
You've been around.
Yes, I've been around. I've worked with some of the finest agencies that you can think of, both locally and internationally too as well. So that is who I am, Sadat Lamino. And yeah.
That's fantastic.
Thank
You've
you.
done a lot.
I have actually.
You've done a lot.
I wouldn't say I have done a lot. I'm still learning, and there is more
You're
to do.
still
I'm guessing.
doing much.
Yes.
We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hello.
Please
Okay.
tell us about you.
Um,
Are you a rat as him?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm a rat. The way I'm big,
Elephant? Or maybe
elephant. Yes, but my name is Eko Kwanzi. I've been doing PR since 2014.
Oh, wow.
So that's almost 10 years now.
That's
But before
okay.
that, I was doing journalism, so I've been quite familiar with the terrain.
Hi.
I rose through the ranks from a PR executive to an account manager to an assistant head of department to currently my new role is head of PR at Global Media Alliance. Basically, what we do is, of course, positioning brands, let them look good in the eyes of the public, because we always want to build a positive perception in the minds of people. Yeah, so basically that's me. Yeah.
Okay, great. Before we delve into serious discussions here, let's just take some icebreakers and ease the tensions of these gentlemen. If there's one word you could describe PR with, what word would that be?
Before coming in here, I had 4 words: publicity, perception, positioning, and then there's this other one. But for me, I think positioning is that one word. So because after doing
Thank you for going ahead. I was going to ask you why.
After doing all your publicity, your strategies, your stakeholder engagement, talking to people, and creating all the awareness, there's one thing you want to achieve. You want to be different from what your competitors are doing. So even as humans, we always try to be different. And we want to be different because we want to take a certain position so that in the eyes of a lot of people, or even if it's 1 million people, because you are different, you'll be noted. So for me, I think that's one word that would clearly describe what PR is positioning.
How about you, Stud?
So, one word to describe PR for me, I think, is influence.
Okay.
PR has the power to influence perception. PR has the power to influence people's habit. PR has the power to influence the thought process of people and their being in general.
Okay.
And that for me is a very powerful word that describes the kind of work we do as public relations people. And what better way to describe the profession with just that one word, influence. Yeah.
Great. You both have dealt with difficult clients, easygoing clients. I mean, wide range of clients. What's the weirdest request a client has ever made?
Okay, so we have this meme of
What generation are you from?
I promise you, this
I'm
is
a millennial.
He's not a millennial.
I'm a millennial.
He doesn't look
please,
it.
please, I am.
It's me. Yeah.
So it will be what
You should ask me my generation and I'll tell you.
Nah. So it's what clients want and then the budget they have for you. And always it's about those who give you small budget that they always want you to take them
Go
to heaven.
all out.
Yeah. But sometimes it's nice because they tend to challenge your thought process in making sure that they get the best out of you. And because as a practitioner, for you want satisfaction on both sides. Delivering the job and client is happy. So you tend to, whether the amount of or the budget is too small or high, you tend to give your best.
Right.
Yeah.
How about you said that?
So mine, I think, was very interesting. I was called in the middle of the night. And
why did you even pick up in the first place?
Good. I mean, why will the client call you at that time of the day? Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it tells you that their brand was in crisis.
Mm-hmm.
So if your brand is in crisis, and this client is what's it called? It's a retainer client. And they call you. I mean, I was called in the middle of the night, and I picked up the phone, and all I hear was, "Where are you?" And I'm like, "Okay, obviously, you know where I should be at this time of the day." But the question was,
you're in a comfortable position.
I know, right? But the question was, not the question. The request was, we need you in our office now.
Office.
Yes. So I asked what the problem was.
The night.
Yes, I asked what the problem was, and they explained to me. And yes, I needed to be in that office at that time of the day.
So sorry.
And at the time that I moved from my house to their office, I think I had to use between 30 to 45 minutes. In between that travel time, I was the kind of calls I was getting. So the brand was in serious crisis, and we needed to get to the bottom of it before the dawn.
Yeah.
So there was no. And I don't see it as very weird because PR practitioners will understand when your brand is in crisis, it doesn't matter time of day.
Especially when it's a retainer client.
When it's a retainer client.
You have to save it.
You have to save the day. So I think that was one moment, but I've had calls like that come through, in between times, to say that we are in crisis, we need you, that kind of situation. But that call at that middle of the night was one that, I wouldn't forget.
We're not going to delve into serious matters with you, so that some significance of PR here in Ghana. What are some notable trends or changes you've observed in the PR profession here in Ghana?
I think that for now, what I'm seeing more is I'm seeing collaborations.
Okay.
And collaborations between PR and digital, and also collaborations between PR and the other spectrum of the entire communication spectrum. I'm seeing that a lot happen now, where PR does not work in isolation. They work with the other arms and components that make brands really matter. I'm seeing that happening a lot. I'm also seeing a lot of influencer engagement, right? Where third-party credibility is becoming a thing.
Yeah.
And who better to do it than influencers who matter to a target audience of a particular organization or a product. I've seen that happen to a lot.
A lot.
Yeah, and I'm also seeing PR practitioners being intentional about the channels of communication, right?
Okay.
They don't use all channels of communication. They're very intentional about which channels they can use to leverage on to ensure there is maximum impact. These are some of the things I'm beginning to see within the ecosystem, and I'm really inspired. It tells you that we are evolving as PR people. From the days of when I used to practice up until now, I'm seeing a lot of changes. And I mean, if you've been there, yeah, you can only be inspired by some of the things that is happening.
That's great. A call. Can you notify some unique challenges that are facing PR practitioners here in Ghana?
Sadat and I were talking about talent.
Yeah.
Okay.
And to be very honest with you, I think we've not done much to bring up new talents like those who are coming after us.
Yeah.
We are fortunate to at least had the benefit of things in terms of how the economy was vibrant and buoyant when we started doing PR. So there was a lot of space in the economy for PR to thrive, because if the economy has a lot of issues, obviously marketing budget, PR budget will be cut. So for us, we were fortunate that the time we were coming up, we had a lot of people being in the space. Unfortunately, we don't tend to see that behind like those who are coming after us, and is basically because now they are piling up the job. So what I mean, 3 people used to do, because when Sadat and I were in agency, just one account will have like 4 people handling it.
Okay.
But now we have just 2, 1, 2, 1, not beyond that.
Don't you think it's because they want some level of expertise
Exactly.
to handle these accounts? I mean, I can't give my old clients, my paying clients, to someone who is not that experienced and mess it up for me.
Yes, you are right. I mean, if I give you money, there has to be value for money.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's understandable. So, and that is what is also not giving the space for young people to explore, because they need to explore, make mistakes, learn from those mistakes, and then be better. We don't have that space for that now. Yeah. And for me, I believe that the more we have good talent and a lot of talent that are very great in the space, it tends to make an impact in the industry in a sense where people would now see, I mean, more people would tend to see the value of PR. So for me, that's one challenge that I've noticed in the industry. And what some of us, we've tried to do, myself and Sadat, is to see how we can impact knowledge into those who are coming after us, because it's hardly you find or you come across people who are 10 years, 15 years experience in the space. When we're coming up, for you to even be hosted by a top PR person was not going to be easy, and wasn't easy. Okay. So since that we've experienced that, we don't want to repeat those kind of mistakes. Okay. So for me, talent is a big thing for me, because I mean, for obvious reasons. Yeah.
So Sadat, he mentioning lack of talent like now. Yeah. What do you think are some opportunities for the future in PR, in the PR profession here in Ghana now?
I think the opportunities are varied and they are wide, right? And talent, like you mentioned, is really very important within our ecosystem, because it enables continuity, right? It also ensures that people get to see the profession in a different light, other than what probably they think it is. Because the more you're exposed to a lot of people, the more you get different understanding of the profession itself. For me, the opportunities that can be harnessed within the profession is number one. Times and seasons do not favor us as PR people.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there is continuous learning for us. Now, I find myself, so I have a client who doesn't believe in the power of press releases.
Doesn't believe in the power of
Press releases.
what? Why?
Exactly.
How?
Now, that's,
Okay.
I can just imagine how you look. Now,
I did journalism, so I mean, what?
good.
Okay.
Now, what the client wants is beyond the press release that we share with the media. So there are instances where you will draft the press release and then you share with the media, they copy and then paste.
Yeah. Oh.
You see your face is changing.
Yes.
Exactly. Now, what other creative way can you, as a PR practitioner, shape perception, create awareness on your brand beyond just the press release is what we need to start thinking about right now. As practitioners, there is an opportunity for us to have continuous learning on the job, and be flexible and adaptable as we can be, and just open ourselves up for new things. The very moment we decide to be stiff in our thought processes, right, as PR practitioners, that is a moment that is basically the beginning of our doom. So let's continue to be creative, and learn as much as we can, and then we will give value to our brands, to our clients.
Right. Okay. This is to you, but so that you can chip in. What has been your favorite PR campaign in Ghana so far?
So let me support the thoughts that Sada shared in terms of the landscape, the trends.
Okay.
I would want to touch on the use of influencers,
Okay.
because now it's a big deal now, because
Very
they are a new wing of PR people using them or leveraging to tell their story.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited about the growth of the influencer marketing space, especially in Ghana, because clearly we've seen university students who are trying to put content together and make some sort of earnings from that. For me, if I see young people trying to do some of these things, it's really exciting. Even if when you check the We Are Social report for 2023, they paid about almost $800,000 amount of money for influencers in Ghana alone.
Wow.
For 2023. So it means that the space is growing, and clearly we are seeing PR people using influencer marketing as a way of telling their story. Back to your question on favorite campaign, I would do Awake Water.
I said I can't read.
I would do Awake Water, One for Life.
Yeah.
Donating to the cardio center. And for me, I really think that it's one campaign that has had an impact in the industry, in terms of the PR industry, in terms of the water industry, and then also had an impact on lives. Because at the end of the day, see, we are people, we are human beings, and as a business, you have to be seen to be supporting humanity. And remember, in our conversation, we spoke about positioning, and that
was your word for describing
yes, PR. And you could clearly see how Awake used the One for Life campaign to position themselves in the water industry. And for me, it's one campaign that has really stood up. They've raised a lot of money in millions of Ghana cedis just to support people with cardio related diseases. So they partner with the cardio center at Kolebu to do that. It's one campaign that has really stuck on since. Yeah.
You're still on it. How about
You're
you,
still on it,
Sadat?
yeah.
If like, I mean, that was an emotive campaign
Yeah.
that still resonates with anybody who probably is big on corporate social responsibility.
Yes.
Being a good corporate citizen and the best way to give back. I remember the ideation stages. I knew he was going to mention that because. So the best campaign for me beyond what Eko has just mentioned, which also resonates with me emotionally,
Okay.
is so Guinness when bars during COVID, you realize that bars were closed down.
Yeah.
Most of the tourist attraction areas were also closed down. The hospitality industry was really hit, and these are the core target of a brand like Guinness. So you realize that some lost their jobs and hotels were shut down and all of that. Now, when the government was easing restrictions, there was a need for them to come back. It was a gradual process.
Yeah.
However, most of these people, might have spent all of their money in upkeep and even paying their staff. Now, how are these people able to go back and then ensure that they're able to have a sustainable business? So Guinness sees these stakeholders. They call them their customers. Okay. That is the bar owners, the distributors,
The
and all of
retailers.
it. Retailers and all of it. These are the key customers of Guinness. So they decided to we came out with a campaign called Rise Up. And Rise Up was basically to support these people get back onto their feet. So I remember the brand injecting a lot of millions of Ghana cedis, to ensure that these key stakeholders, as they are going back into the bars to work, you are not alone in this. We are with you.
Yeah.
That to me was great. And beyond that, they just didn't do for only the customers. They also did for consumers. So there was a whole promotion for consumers to also help them in their socialization programs and all of that. And to me, for me, really, I should say, that was an impactful time, and it was so emotional because we needed to engage the Ghana Tourism Authority, the Ghana Health Services, and all of to ensure, okay, we want to do this. What do you think?
What do you think? Yeah.
So we had guidance from all, key stakeholders, and I think that was really heartwarming, and it changed a lot of lives.
All these initiatives are basically to help them come up.
Yes.
Continue business.
Yeah.
So, guys, we're now going to talk impact of World PR Day.
Yeah.
Eko, this is to you. What has been your favorite event or initiative from World PR Day so far?
So, I think also during the COVID time, that's when World PR Day came up. So, just a bit of history. The profession started like 1900.
Yeah.
But we've not had a day to celebrate it up until 2020 or 2021, when the world decided that we need to set up a specific date, like I think July 16th, to celebrate public relations. So if you look at the gap, it's been years. So when the day was set up, it became now a global thing for practitioners to leverage and talk about the importance of the profession. So for us at Global Media Alliance, we realized that, okay, this is a space that we can drive and bring everybody in the whole value chain on board: agencies, PR associations, practitioners, and so on and so forth. So for me, it was a very important activity in terms of the PR calendar for the year. And based on that, we put together a lot of programs. The first year, we had just some virtual stuff. Second year, we had a summit. Then the third year, we moved into the festival mode where we lined up a lot of activities for various stakeholders in the PR chain. In terms of the most impactful events under World PR Day, for me, will be the masterclass that we did with Cosmos Innovation Center. So for us, we realized that one of the key things that they were lacking was creating awareness about their products and services. So these startups, they ran into over 200 different startups. So we decided to partner with the KIC to train them on how to market their product digitally and also traditionally in terms of using traditional media to let people know exactly what they do.
So that what are some specific initiatives or events organized during World PR Day that has had like significant impact?
So for me, I think the entire Twitter Spaces
Oh,
was strong for me. It stood out mainly because the topics that were discussed were, for want of a better word, were timely, right? And I tried not to miss any of them. And I think the panelists that they brought to were also captains of the space.
Yeah.
So they had lots of juice.
I love the one on media and PR relationship.
Yes.
Oh,
You know,
they really bash me.
Exactly. Thank you. So I think
you've been bashed.
that entire Spaces conversation was like a fast track MBA in PR.
Yeah.
Right? And it gave a lot of information. There were so many learnings. There were so many things to unlearn too as well.
Okay.
You know, there were people came in with themselves and shared what they knew about the industry and how we could better ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, and I think the other one too there was one on PR and economy.
Okay.
That was on a larger scale, I think, and it looked at the broader spectrum of how PR impacts the entire economy. You know, so and I think these are those that I can immediately recall. But I think for me as a practitioner, one of the things that I keep telling people is the fact that PR people like being behind cameras. And over time, what we do is that at the beginning of the year, we will share a cultural calendar with our clients and even like in-house, you know, to say that, oh, this much is happening on this day, World Environment Day.
Yeah.
Well, where is World PR Day?
Man.
You know, and for me, the initiative of World PR Day has come at a time where the space needs something like this, you know, where we all converge, share ideas, and look into the future, right? And I couldn't be more happier to hear that, you know, Global Media Alliance, you know, has taken up an opportunity, has taken up something like this to run with. I know there are instances where we observe it, but in silos and in quiet, you know, but having a whole festival on it, I think is a big deal. So the entire festival, I think, was really, was great. And the spaces stood out as well as the conversation on PR and then the economy.
Oh, great. Of course, so what has been the impact in your view of this festival so far?
I think we wanted to achieve one thing, recognition.
Okay.
And recognition in the eyes of policymakers, one, because I know we have the IPR bill in Parliament, or like it's in the works, it's in the
What is in the pipeline?
It's in the pipeline.
Everything is always in the pipeline here.
So we have to drum home conversations like this to bring that sort of recognition for policymakers to actually value the impact or the importance of PR. So for me, we're using World PR Day as a driver to make sure we create that recognition in the eyes of policymakers, and then also recognition in the eyes of clients and businesses, because you see now the economy is very hard. One budget that will always be affected is PR and marketing. So the operations people will still have their budgets, the legal people will still have their budgets, the HRs will still have their budgets, but PR and marketing, you know, and we have to make a very good case as to why the budget needs to be protected and even be improved. So we wanted to use World PR Day as a way of...
But they should know yesterday's price is not today's price.
Yeah, but yesterday's price can deliver today's.
There was one that was held at Nobuki.
Yeah, the sustainability. Yeah.
Conversation. I think that forum for me was really very great, because now clients and industries in general are very cautious of sustainability and its narrative, really, and the impact it has on businesses and individuals. So I think that forum was really an eye-opener for me as an individual and also as a practitioner. And it's one that maybe we could have like a 2.0 version of it. I don't know. But yeah, I think that was one for the books.
Back to this year's World PR Day. What is new?
So what is new is we are going to have... So let me start from the top. We used to have Twitter Spaces. This time around, we'll have some Twitter Spaces and some audio LinkedIn conversations. So because we also realized that some of our target audience for the festival are heavily on LinkedIn, so we leverage on that. We'll still continue with our masterclass events that we do, and this time around we are doing one on artificial intelligence and PR. So big, I know people are big on ChatGPT, but we should know how to use it right. Because when ChatGPT develops a press release for you and you send it to your boss who is very familiar about ChatGPT, can really tell and expose you. So how do you use ChatGPT to generate content, and then you have to humanize that content to make sure that it's very relevant to whatever content you want to put out. So we'll have one on PR and then artificial intelligence. We'll come back to sustainability because it is one sort of masterclass that now we want to keep it constant every year and drum home that conversation and how PR people can tell stories around sustainability to the general public. We would also have what we call, I won't say, so the main summit would be in a form of storytelling, not your typical panel session discussion where we'll have relevant industry titans that we've already spoken to some two persons who, like, these are people who have done it, who practiced it, who are relevant not just for the Ghana market but the world market in terms of PR, media, and communications as a whole. So the lineup for this year's World PR Day Festival is going to be a bit different because the sessions are some are expanded, some are different in terms of even where people can consume that.
You've mentioned all that is going to happen without telling us when it's happening.
So because it's a festival, we are starting on May, June, and then July. But the big night, the big day is July 16th. And that is where we'll have the big summit. And then after that, we'll have some wind down, a bit of music, things like that.
We want party, please.
So, and this year is an election year. So we are also we're also going to have a session on political communication.
Okay.
And this one is not like we are bringing in the political parties to come and tell us how they will communicate to people, but we are bringing in key civil society organizations and key players who matter in terms of how to fish out misinformation, how to send across, how to even verify news or information that people come in contact with in relation to our 2024 elections.
So Dad, you've been
Yes,
to
ma'am.
most of since World PR Day started. You are actively involved.
Yes.
What do you expect this year?
My expectations of this year is maybe more mentorship
Okay.
to ensure that those behind us, those who are coming up, are inspired to know that, look, I can make a career out of PR. Those behind us will have a full understanding of what it means to really be a true PR practitioner. You know,
Let me quickly come in. When you say mentorship, mostly
Yeah.
here in Ghana, when people say mentorship, it's just me telling you, oh, you have to do this, have to do that. Like once in a while, I talk to you about it. How about taking someone under your wing, like moving with the person, so the person sees the day-to-day runnings, not just by word of mouth or advising them, but they experiencing it.
I think for me, what you just said is my true definition of mentorship. I actually have a lot of people that I mentor, right? I do not give them instructions. I engage them in whatever I do, so they learn through that. And what I mean by mentorship is, now it's just the World PR Day Festival being intentional about mentorship program for this year.
For this year.
Because I hear a call with his comment on talent.
Yeah.
What better way than to mentor the next generation?
Exactly.
You know, so I just think that maybe if I didn't hear him say, maybe there is in the pipeline that I know for a fact. You know, they on the team probably have it, but I think maybe being intentional about it and ensuring that, you know, those who are coming up are really inspired and then they know the true value of PR, so that we don't the species does not end with us.
It shouldn't.
It can't, actually can't. But basically, I just think that
No profession ever dies out.
exactly. But I just feel that for me, if there's anything I want to see new this year, is that. And the second thing too is there was conversation around ChatGPT.
Yeah.
There's conversation around cloud computing. There's conversation around sustainability and all of that. Now, for us as PR people, one of the things that really gives me joy is the fact that, in as much as we work in different industries and all of that, we are able to break down jargons into snackable versions to the understanding of
The layman.
And I was happy for the sustainability conversation. I'm happier to hear that there is one on ChatGPT, and I don't know if they want to add cloud computing to as well and all of that. Now, these are spaces that is seen as abstract. These are spaces seen as things that has nothing to do with us as PR people, but directly and indirectly, they do. So I'm happy to hear him say that, you know, things like ChatGPT and artificial intelligence and all of that are in the conversations. But all in all, I'm really very pumped up and excited for this year's World PR Day Festival. But they should please include the party.
Yes.
Party. You want to
Sarah,
party?
Sarah,
You want to party?
the party will come. The
Yeah.
party will come.
Echo. So
But I think Eko has something to add.
So just on the
okay.
mentorship bit,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
this year we are actually having student volunteers.
Oh, Brilliant.
for the
Does it have to
whole.
be just students?
Fortunately, unfortunately, I don't know.
You're well placed. Yeah, so we are very intentional. As Sadat said, we will have student volunteers on this year's festival campaign
Okay.
because, like, running from April to the end of July,
Yeah.
clearly it's a very good space for
Internships.
the internship, the volunteers to learn one or two or three things about how we do our things, and even give them roles to play. Yeah. So
So, Echo, I mean, I'm not in that space. If I want to intern for you guys for that period, am I allowed?
yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, so you can speak to your friend Asantoa,
Great.
and then we'll have you on board. Probably you moderate one of the sessions as
No,
well,
thank you.
and
You're
see.
welcome. Anyways, why should professionals attend this year's World PR Festival thing?
This is their event.
Yes.
If you don't come for your event, who should come?
Quickly, I mean, some may not be readily available or present that day. Are there ways for them to join the events? You
Yes.
don't have to be there in person.
Yeah, so all our events will be streamed live, both on socials like Facebook, on YouTube, and then even on LinkedIn
Okay, you
as
mentioned
well.
that
Yes,
as well.
so it will be streamed live. Even our Twitter Spaces, obviously, will share links for people to join. You know, the popular say share the link, share the link. So we share the link. We'll share the link for people to join. And even after the whole event, we'll have what we call the World PR Day e-library, where we'll have all these videos, audios in one space for people to come back and then reference and even watch again and pick ideas from, because all we are doing is for recognition and also knowledge sharing, basically.
Okay. Sadat, what is one key element people should watch out for this year?
I think they should watch out for an interesting yet creative World PRD Festival this year.
And party.
Yes, and the party.
And party.
Let's unwind, right?
Yeah.
We'll have
Let's
an
some
industry
fun.
mix. I know.
Yes, I like that.
Okay.
But yes, they should look out for something really very exciting, I think. You know, I've had snippets of what is going to happen this year, and yeah,
Like what you see?
so much. You have no idea.
Great, guys. So we are almost done here, but I want one PR tip from each of you, and make it as simple as possible that even me I'll understand. Don't
PR
worry.
what?
Tip?
Tip.
Yeah,
Is it to young people, or
everybody
they should read?
read.
Read.
How about
And to even add,
Okay.
write.
right?
Read and write, because that is the basic skill for PR, especially when you want to enter the profession.
Okay.
So based on reading, you get a lot of ideas, and you put those ideas and thoughts into writing. So these two things, if they're able to do that,
How about you?
Yeah, I think, look, there is nothing, right, that will make you succeed as a PR person if you're a lazy reader. Readers are writers, right? Yeah, readers are writers. And I think that writing is an essential part of the work we do as PR people. But the other thing, too, is that you need to be curious. As a younger person, be curious about your environment. Be
Yes.
curious about things happening online, offline. You know, be eager to want to know more. You know, because that will be conversation starters for you at almost every point in time. Yeah. But apart from reading and writing, I think curiosity and should be something you should.
but if you don't read, your mind doesn't get expanded.
Exactly.
And you won't ask
You
questions.
won't ask questions.
You end up asking Foolish questions.
Ouch.
I'll tell Echo that there are no foolish questions. There are foolish answers.
anyway, no, there's no foolish idea.
But yeah, but essentially, I think reading broadens you. That's one of the first tip I got when I was getting into PR, and I was told to read.
So you both gave tips to people who want to practice PR.
Yes.
How about, let's go this way, SMEs
Yeah.
who are handling
Let's talk about creatives.
Creative.
Let's talk about creatives, musicians, artists.
Yes. Small business owners, all
Small
of them.
business. Yeah, but
What is that one PR tip you give to them? They brand themselves. They are literally their own PR professionals. What is that one tip you give to them?
position your brand. I say that because as creatives, if you see the Nike sign without Nike being, not spelt, you clearly know that this is Nike. So they should take that sort of inspiration and position themselves in a way that if people even see, when you see yellow, what comes to mind?
MTN.
But why yellow? There was yellow way before MTN came, right?
Yes.
So these are some of the things that as creatives and even small businesses, they need to know. Position yourself so that you be different in the market, but relevant.
Great. So that.
I think for me, what I would say is, as a creative, and never underestimate the power of strategy.
Okay.
For instance, maybe a musician, you go into the studio. You have an inspiration, you have a song or whatever it is. You go into the studio and you record and everything, and before you let it out, have a strategy.
So distribution strategy.
Beyond the distribution strategy, have a branding strategy.
Okay.
Like you just have, and also please, my people in the music industry, don't beat me, okay? Your PA or your publicity person is not your public relations person. It's not your PR person.
Yeah.
PR goes beyond having a
Publicity,
PA or a publicity person. Yeah, it goes beyond that. So you need to be very intentional about, how you want to be seen, how you want this music to be heard, how you want, all these comes in the strategy. So be very intentional about your strategy, and never underestimate the power of that.
Musicians, your best friend is not your PR. Just because they've been with you since day one doesn't mean they can sell your brand better.
Exactly, yeah.
If you say this, people don't understand, but
They'll bite you.
They'll bite you, unfortunately.
Well, all too soon, we've come to the end of this insightful discussion with our PR experts, Echo and Sadat, and we invite you all to this year's event. Kindly follow Global Media Alliance on all social media platforms to be updated about these events. And also, we call on all corporate institutions to partner with us on this year's World PR Day Festival. Till next time, bye guys.